I have a new face. I thought I would film a video of how I'm doing makeup on my new face and also just talk and reply to questions. It's weird. I feel like I have to relearn how to do makeup because now I have a nose that I can actually contour. If you watched my videos before, I was like, I'm skipping nose contour because contour can't help my nose, only a plastic surgeon could. And now the plastic surgeon did help my nose, so now I can do contouring. So I have some learning to do about that. But let's start. And actually, let's start with the question, why is your skin so flawless? So let's start with that, because this is one. This is the concealer that I got in Korea. My skin is struggling. I bought this concealer at Olive Young. I basically just tried a bunch of things on my hand and somehow ended up with a perfect match. But also, I never heard about this concealer. I've heard about their cushion. So that's how I knew that it should be good, because I know the cushion. And I got it and I really like it. And I use my EXO brush. This brush is so old and it's also literally from an EXO AliExpress palette. But this part of the brush is really good and I like it. So I use it for concealer. As for the question, how's your skin so flawless? It's not. So basically I've been to hospitals for like a year to figure out what's going on with my acne, why I get it, and they can't help me. No one can help me with that. And it's really annoying. The most annoying part is they're like, it could be because of stress, so try to be less stressed. And I'm like, we're in Ukraine, and also you telling me that it's because of stress just makes me more stressed. And you might be like, but you're not in Ukraine right now, are you less stressed now? No. I cried like 30 minutes ago. I'm just a mess at all times and my skin is definitely not flawless, but this concealer, amazing. I've also never been not stressed, so I don't know what their point was. Whenever I hear a noise like that when I'm in Korea, even though I'm not in Ukraine, I'm still like, is that like a missile? We are next to North Korea and their guy shares a brain cell with Russia's guy, so I've also never been not stressed. People are also asking how long I'm planning to stay in Korea. When I was saving up for my nose surgery, I knew that I have to save up not only for the nose itself, but for also staying in Korea for a couple of months, because I was not ready to go get my nose fixed and just stay for like a week to like get my cast removed and leave, because I knew that my nose is like more complicated than just fixing a bump, you know. So I'm not leaving Korea yet. I planned for staying for a couple of months. I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I planned for more than just the surgery and leave, because as soon as I got to Korea, I got sick and we had to postpone my surgery. So yeah, I'm glad I didn't just come for the surgery and leave. And also after the surgery, there could be complications, you never know. So I saved up enough to be able to stay here for a couple of months. So I'm glad I did that. Someone asked, was the pain after the surgery bearable? I had zero pain. There was none. Literally, I had no pain at all. Which, if you're surprised, I think what could explain it is I also didn't have bruising. Usually people get like their eyes like are all blue and so swollen that they are shut down, like their eyes are, they can't open their eyes because they're so swollen. I didn't have any of that, so I think my surgeon just like did a really professional job as to not like traumatize anything internally while he was doing the surgery, because I didn't have any bruises, I didn't have any pain at all. So I think I just got really lucky that my surgeon did a good job. You know, has any EXO member liked your post? Yes, they did. Lay watched my TikTok and he made fun of me. No, he didn't make fun of me. I made fun of me and he watched me making fun of me. If you didn't know, Lay commented on my TikTok. So that happened. Lay commented on my TikTok. That's my life accomplishment, yo. Now what I usually do now that I have a new nose is I contour it to make it less swollen, if that makes sense. Since I'm only 1 month post-operation, I'm still swollen. So my thought process is just contour your nose so it looks less swollen, and I feel like it helps when I do that. I'm like so curious to see how it's gonna look after a year or two. Probably like the tip is the most swollen. By the way, the after surgery swelling is real, because look at the difference of like my nostrils like a week after surgery, and now that's crazy. So I have no idea what my nose is gonna look like in a year, but I'm excited. Is there a difference now that I contoured it? I'm also gonna add some lighter colors. Let's see what else. How much is the daily living expense in Korea as a tourist traveler? See, this one scared me before coming here because I was watching like videos online, and I remember I saw a video of someone saying that they stayed for like 10 days in Korea, and in total they spent on food $500 in 10 days. And I was like, $40 a day on food. I was like, what the hell? So that kind of scared me, but now that I'm here, I'm gonna show you like what I ate today. This is what I ate today. This cost me 4,000 won, so it's like $3. And I bought it yesterday and I had it for dinner, and I only finished half. I can't finish it in one go usually, and I had it today too. So it's not $40 a day. I think people, I don't know where they ate for that video, but basically you don't have to spend that as much. Besides food, obviously rent is the most expensive one. What else expensive? I mean, if you want to buy stuff when you go out, I haven't bought so much skincare or makeup while I'm here, but I did buy this mascara. I saw it online and people said that it's really good. I like it so far. This is the Etude House Curl Fix. But yeah, what I do to save up here is I don't go to a cafe every day and like spend money there, and I also don't eat out every day. I go grocery shopping and I cook. So I cook every day for like a meal or two, and those meals that I just showed you also help because they're like really cheap and have a bunch of food, and I can't even finish it in one go, so I have food for 2 times usually. You can spend less if you want while you're here. How did you leave Ukraine to go to South Korea? I don't know if people don't know that, but you can leave Ukraine. The only thing is the airports don't work because we're getting bombed every time. And what you have to do is take a car or go on your feet and cross the border from Ukraine into another country and fly from there to wherever you want to go. So I just crossed the border by car with like a passenger bus, and then I just went. You said a few times that your house is in Narnia. Is it worse now in war days? When I say that, I don't just mean Ukraine is Narnia, because Ukraine was Narnia enough, but I also live in the Narnia of Ukraine, meaning I live in a really small village town in Ukraine that there's nothing there, basically nothing to do there. We don't even have a cafe, so there's nothing there. So when I say Narnia, that's I literally live next to a forest, do nothing, there's nothing there basically. But also the messed up thing about that is, since the war, it's actually better to live in a Narnia in Ukraine than to live in a city, because there's nothing there to hit, to bomb, so we have a bigger chance of surviving. Even though we do have like a school and a kindergarten, and those a lot of the times are Russia's targets for some reason, so you're not 100% safe, but like safer than in a city. I mean, so far the closest bombing to my house was 15 minutes away, so that's better than most people can say in Ukraine. The messed up part about that is I have no idea what I'm gonna do when I go back to Ukraine, because I'm in a situation where I've graduated university and I have to like move on to the next thing in my life, right? I mean, I would love to stay in Korea and like live here, not because of the war, just because I wanted to like live in a different country always. I wanted to travel, to do stuff, but with Korea it's difficult because you need like a working visa or something like that, and for that you would have to work at a company that's willing to get you a visa and stuff like that, which I don't have, so I can't live in Korea. And like then the other choice that I had was moving from my small Ukrainian village town to a city in Ukraine, try something there. But now because of the war, my choice is basically moving to a city in Ukraine means more chances of getting killed by Russia. So my choice is basically stay in my village and just have nothing to do there, or move to a city and potentially get killed. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Everything is complicated. Basically, life in Ukraine is really difficult, but we don't usually complain about that because I don't feel like I can. Because people are on front line and dying every day, so other people have it worse. That's another thing that I didn't mention it in my YouTube about the nose surgery, but I felt so guilty. Like going to Korea and getting surgery, I feel so guilty because people are dying. When we got attacked in February, I was supposed to come to Korea in March, like in a month, but because we got attacked, I didn't. And then I waited for a year and I was like, do I just cancel? Like, do I not get the surgery? And I didn't know what to do, and I ended up coming here, but I feel so bad because I just feel guilty and stuff. I mean, even though I like injured my nose and it wasn't just to like be hot or whatever, but still I wouldn't die if I didn't get this surgery, you know what I mean? I just feel guilty, but also it's so weird in Ukraine because you feel guilty. I felt guilty even in Ukraine. Like whenever someone gets bombed and dies, you're like, it's really dumb, but you feel like, why did they die and I didn't? Which is a dumb thing to feel guilty about, but you do, you can't help it in Ukraine. Someone asked, what are the top 4 things you want to achieve before dying? This was it. Like, getting the surgery was my big moment that I've been trying to get my whole life. So it's really weird because now I don't know what I want, because I never had like, I want to get married, I want to have kids, I never had any goals like that. So like, some people were saving up for a house, I was saving up for a surgery. So now that it's finally done, I have no idea what to do with myself. I never planned to be alive for this long, so it's weird. I have no idea what to do now. How do you get around Korea by yourself not knowing the language? This actually was never a problem. Getting around in Korea is really easy because they have the subway, so you can go anywhere with the subway. I don't even use the buses, and you don't have to talk to anyone to take the subway. And the only time I talk to people here is when like I buy something in a store or I order at a restaurant or something, which I usually try to make it as easy as I can. In restaurants I would just like take a picture of whatever I want from the menu and just show them. And like in stores, after a couple of times you get the idea of how it's gonna go. Like they're gonna ask you if you want a bag, they're gonna ask you if you want the receipt and stuff. So it's not that hard, you kind of understand. Other than that, I didn't have any problem. The only times people try to talk to me is just like religious people trying to get you into church or something, which you just say sorry and leave. Or like guys trying to date, which again you say sorry and leave. The language hasn't been a problem. Weirdest thing you saw while in Korea that made you go what the fuck? Someone farted in front of me. A couple of days ago, a Juma, like an old lady just farted. And that was it. That was the whole, like, I don't think she knew that I was next to her. I don't think she saw me, but she just farted. And it happened, so no judgment. I just went about my day. How much was your surgery, if you don't mind me asking? Every clinic that I contacted, because I contacted multiple clinics, not just the one I went with, quoted me around from like $6,500 to like $8,500, something like that. Like that was the range that I got from all of the clinics that I talked to. But also keep in mind that my nose is more complicated than usually noses are. We ended up getting like 4 different procedures, not just rhinoplasty. Rhinoplasty is one, and I had 3 more because my nose was messed up. So yeah, keep in mind that every nose is gonna cost differently depending on how difficult your case is, and mine was on the expensive side because I had complications. Do you feel better about yourself now? You look amazing and you always have. The thing is, I feel more comfortable just going outside now. Like I go out without a mask and I don't feel as bad as I used to. I can't say that I feel like pretty. Like I know that I have a pretty nose now. Everything else is still me, so it's weird. How is the overall situation of your country? By the way, sending love and prayers. Okay, let's talk about where we are now. So right now what we have is we're gonna have a counter offensive, so we're preparing for that. So basically we're gonna fight back and take back what Russia annexed. And hopefully it goes well when it's already happening if you pay attention to anything, but basically right now what's going on is on our territories that are occupied by Russians, oil depots are getting blown up, their military facilities where they keep their soldiers there are getting blown up and stuff like that. So the counteroffensive is definitely going on already, but it's still not in the phase of taking back territories yet. It's in the phase of preparing for that. So where we are is basically about to fight back. What I personally am doing right now is just watching news every day, like what's going on, donating to different organizations. I don't know if people know that, but Ukrainians are also behind the scenes, also helping our military. Like whenever you see that, oh, something like a oil depot in Russia got attacked by a drone, we paid for that drone. Just like donating to organizations that help the troops for this counteroffensive. We're all pretty much trying to do our best to help with the counteroffensive, and then we don't know what's gonna happen next, when it's gonna happen, what's gonna happen, we don't know, but we're all trying to help our military as much as we can. So if you don't see that much news about Ukraine, it's because we're preparing for something big, and what we need for this counteroffensive to work and to be successful is other countries' support, like arms and stuff like that. So whenever you see that we're sending more arms to Ukraine, how much arms do Ukraine need? That's because we're trying to fight back. That's why we need so much arms. Everyone is in anticipation of what's gonna happen, and we don't know what's gonna happen. That's where we are now. We're preparing, and hopefully something good is gonna happen soon. Okay, this is the video, this is the makeup, this is what we ended up with. Do we like it? So yeah, thank you for getting ready with me and watching me do my new makeup routine. It's probably gonna change a lot because, as I said, the nose keeps getting less swollen and changing, so I don't know what it's gonna look like in a year. So stay tuned if you want to see more, if you want to see how it's gonna look like. Okay, thank you for watching, and thank you for asking me questions, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.